I was fascinated with these trees in Kalymnos, just as we're going into Myotiers. The colours of the bark, which had been scraped off, were really interesting. Some beautiful deep reds, some greys, some browns, which led me to use just a few colours, and they were I'm sitting on the wall just in front of the trees there. Quite a warm day, although there was a nice breeze blowing. I'm starting off using the brown madder and some burnt umber. No, sorry, burnt sienna. That just gives me that tone that I needed. And this is, remember, just the first stage. So we're now going on to the second stage of putting in some of the greys. There's a mixture of ultramarine blue and brown madder. I use that brown madder a lot. I rather love it. It gives you some very subtle changes of colour and tone. As I say, this really is all underpainting, and unfortunately it was all the time I had, having spent the day looking around Kalymnos at other views, other places to sketch, and there's the lighter greys coming in, leaving a few spaces that I shall infill later. And I did a lot more work on this later in the studio. But it's all about getting the colours that you are seeing and making sure you've got the mixture right. I could have done with a slightly bigger brush, just with a size 8. And I think I should have had a 10. It might have flowed a bit easier then. I also added a bit of burnt umber at the bottom. Now, this is where I put the man in. We had great discussion about this. There's just the shadow of a man's figure on the tree. You'll see it more developed later on. There's a little break there because we were interrupted by the cats, quite a few around there. They wanted to drink my water, which I did not object to at all. So we're just adding a little bit more colour. Whilst it's still wet, the paper was completely dry to start off with. And it does dry very quick when you're in a hot country. So, but this was just damp, and that was all I did for that session. And we had to go. So I finished it off in the studio a little later, adding a bit more colour, using the same colours, obviously not the same colours for the background, but that helped to put it in place, I think. If you'd like to know more about my trips to Kalymnos coming up in 2022, here comes the websites where you can find out all about them.